Now, a lot of analysts are confused that this could be the very destructive phase in the human civilization. That this war, this conflict could lead to the World War III if Russia and China involved in this war. Now, the concept which we are discussing is that the death of the supreme leader of Ayatollah Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, which the USA and Israel expected that the instability will be occurred after his death in the Iran military, political system, economical system, and even though in regime standards. But after the death of Ayatollah Khamenei, which the CIA was tracing his Ayatollah Khamenei for the period of 6 months after they confirmed him, after he was killed with his family in a missile attack, none of the instability arisen on all over the Iran. But even though it went to against on 180 angle, and in all institutions of the Iran, the red flags were raised, and these things were claimed that Iran will take revenge of his supreme leader, and rejected straightforwardly the negotiations of the USA and Israel. Even though Iran tried and said that he will not stop the conflict until they take their revenge of their supreme leaders. After that, if you look at the historical background, that when the Shah in 1953 released those statements and talked on media that they control the media, they control the countries, they control the governments, they control the institutions. Then a lot of regime change, UK, USA also tried to bring the regime change against of him, but after a few years, the Islamic Revolution takes place in 1979. From here, you can imagine that what will happen if you will talk about the political interest of yourself. After the death of the supreme leader, if you will talk about a little bit before the death of the supreme leader of Iran in 2025, again one attack was happened on the name of disposing the nuclear programs of the Iran, in which a lot of the military officers were killed or murdered, but the Israelis were trying to target the Ayatollah Khamenei, but he survived with the president of Iran as well as with the foreign ministers of the Iran. But a lot of military officers were killed in that attack. But after tracing for the period of 7 months, they found the Ayatollah Khamenei and they targeted him with his family. And they expected to bring the regime change easily after his death, but the regime change went on 180 angle against their interests. So it's up to you how you will take it, but this is kind of a very different vision having a system. And even though in revenge Iran raised the red flags and fired hundreds and thousands of ballistic missiles, drones on military bases all over the Middle East, in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and destroyed a lot of bases all over there, as well as they fired a few ballistic missiles towards the Europe too. That they said that Europe is also involved in this kind of wrongful act against the international law. And the other page, Russia and China also took the stand with Iran and released the statements in the interest of Iran against the Europe, the USA, and Israel, and claimed that Russia will be involved in the war if they will induce or pursued Iran to their last stand. As well as the North Korea also took the side of the Iran indirectly and claimed that the North Korea declares those powerful who are taken responsible for their citizens who are living in Iran. So these kind of a lot of analysts are claiming that this kind of wars will lead to World War III, which will happen in the future. But if it will happen, this could be the first conflict which can be the reasonable means towards that World War III. So it's up to you how you will take it, but it's kind of very big confusion. It's kind of very strong visionary moods. Analysts are claiming that maybe this conflict will lead to the World War III, because this is kind of a very unexpected occasion happened, unexpected conflict arisen between the nations in the world.